Morning dear students, happy to announce you that we have already completed all 10 lessons. The last lesson is actually the story of cricket. We have enjoyed a lot when we were reading this lesson because you are the lovers of cricket. I hope you all have enjoyed the lesson, the story of cricket. When it comes to grammar, most of you have a great tension and you will be worried how you could solve the questions that were asked from the grammar. When it comes to formal grammar, you need to know certain basic points under grammar. Especially today I would like to teach you the parts of speech because this is the most basic topic under grammar, in formal grammar. Because we have completed all 10 lessons, it doesn't mean that you know or you have a very good grip over every single lesson. If you have it, I am so grateful and I am so happy also, I am proud of you. And what is my request and my suggestion to all of you is to read each lesson every day. After one lesson, you will be having a poem, one lesson, one poem, one lesson, one poem. Alternatively, you have lessons and poems. So the first lesson, 3 questions. I think so all of you know this story. Okay. Here we can see a king. A king has 3 questions and he is seeking answers to get them. What are the 3 questions? Does the king get what he wants? Whether all 3 questions, whatever the king was expecting, have come true or have fulfilled the desire of the king of knowing the answers to those questions. Okay? Actually, he was not getting the right answers, or was he got the right answers, that we can see in these 3 questions. But today's topic is not reteaching of the lesson, but today I would like to teach you the grammar. I told you, other forms of grammar. So when it comes to parts of speech, how many parts of speech are there in English? In English we have 8 parts of speech. I don't know how many of you are well aware of all 8 parts of speech, but today I just wanted to go with a small little revision, that is the 8 parts of speech. The first one is noun, second pronoun, adjective, verb. After second one, noun, pronoun. After noun and pronoun, third one is adjective. Okay, don't miss the order. Okay, noun, pronoun, adjective, verb, adverb, and preposition, conjunction, and interjection. Once again, noun, pronoun, adjective, verb, adverb, preposition, conjunction, interjection. There are 8 parts of speech. When you say the last parts of speech, you must say and interjection. So today, first paragraph I am reading. I will be asking you and I will be revealing what is each part of parts of speech of each word. Parts of speech. Whenever you started speaking or writing a sentence, you would come across some parts. Each word is a part of it. Each word conveys something. Each word is meant for any one of those 8 parts of speech. Understand? Suppose to take, the thought came to a certain king that he would never fail if he knew 3 questions. These 3 things were, what is the right time to begin something? Which people should he listen to? What is the most important thing for him to do? The 3 questions. Once again, the thought came to a certain king. The thought came to a certain king. Okay? Here, the thought, it came to a certain king. Here, what is thought actually? What parts of speech is thought? Think, thought, thinking, things. So definitely what parts of speech is this? Verb. Because whenever you come across one of the words which is getting different forms, okay, we have verb forms, we have adjectival forms, we have adverbial forms, we have noun forms, etc., etc. But First of all, what you have to think is what parts of speech is thought. Thought is a verb. Think, thought, thought, thinking, thinks. So what is thought? Thought is the past form of the word think. So think or thought is a verb. Next one. Came to whom this thought had come. Come, came, come. Coming, comes. This is also a verb. To whom it has come? To a certain king. Here to is preposition. To is preposition. A can be pronounced as a certain king. In the sense, some king. We don't know exactly who is that king because the name of the king is not written. A certain king. A and certain, both of them are adjectives. Okay, when it comes to parts of speech, a and the, actually a and the are articles or determinants we call. Understand? And when it comes to parts of speech, a and the should be considered as adjectives or determinants. Understand? Adjectives or determinants. So certain is also an adjective because it says something about the noun. What is the noun here? King is the noun. What is king? K-I-N-G. King is the noun. The thought came to a certain king that T-H-A-T, that is conjunction. What is that here? Conjunction. That he would never fail. Who would never fail? The king would never fail. What is he? Instead of calling him again the king, we say he. It's a pronoun. The words which are used instead of nouns are called pronouns. Understand? So, he is pronoun. Will, would. Actually, will and would are modal verbs or modal verbs. We can also call what we can say auxiliaries. Modal auxiliaries. Modal auxiliary is would. He would never fail. Will past form is would. So will and would are also verbs. But what kind of verbs are those? Modal verbs. So would is modal verb. Never fail. Never ever. Adverbs. Failing is the verb, no? Fail, failed, failed, failing, fails. So fail is verb in the sense whatever we are adding to the verb is nothing but adverb. What is an adverb? An adverb is a word. An adverb is a word which can modify the meaning of the verb is nothing but an adverb. It means adverb always goes with another verb. So adverb is a word that goes with an adjective, another adverb or verb. Once again, an adverb is a word which can modify the meaning of the verb or another adverb or an adjective also. Sometimes it influences the verb. Mostly it influences the verb. It modifies the verb. Sometimes it can also influence another adverb or adjective. Is that understood? Don't get confused. Adverb has authority over three things. One is verb, the other one is adverb, another adverb, the other one is adjective. Okay? An adverb is a word which can influence or modify the verb, another adverb or an adjective. So always you must study adverb is not just parts of speech which can modify the meaning of the verb. It can sometimes modify an adjective or another adverb. So here you must understand never is an adverb, fail is a verb. If he knew three things. What is if? If is a conjunction. What is if? It's a subordinate conjunction. Again he is the pronoun. Knew is the past form of know. three things. 3 is the number, isn't it? All numbers, all colors of nouns, all the numbering of the nouns are considered as adjectives. Okay, number is an adjective, color is an adjective. Okay, what we can say, the quality is also an adjective. Quantity is an adjective, more, much, many. Okay, all, some. These are all certain. These are all adjectives. Okay, don't get confused. I want some sugar. How much sugar do you want? I want some. Okay, little is enough. Little, less, least, more, most, much, all, some, the few, a few. These are all what? Adjectives only. So number is always adjective. Okay, there are three nice dresses in the shop. But I just wanted to pick any one of those three. You wanted to, all three of them are good, but you wanted to pick any one of the best. All of them are looking best, but you cannot take all three. You can pick any one of those. Understand? So what is the number? Numbers always must be considered as adjectives. The number is an adjective. So here what I wanted to tell you is parts of speech. You have to remember and you should understand what parts of speech is this. A conjunction in the sense, it can join two words or two sentences together in order to give them the right meaning, in order to give the right sense to a sentence. Sometimes we need to join two words, or sometimes we need to join two different sentences to make one meaningful sentence. Okay, two clauses or two sentences. Two simple sentences can be conjoined, or they can be joined together, they can be linked up together with a conjunction so that you can form or you can give or convey a right meaning to it. I think you understand. So if is a conjunction, he is a pronoun, new is the verb, tree is an adjective, things is noun. Always remember, any sensible sentence is constructed out of three things. What is that? Subject, verb, object. Subject and object can be a noun or a pronoun. Always remember. Any meaningful sentence starts with a subject and ends by an object. Both the subject and object are always either nouns or pronouns. So suppose to take the king. Here you started with the king and you are ending with the second line I am actually talking about. Three things, no? So the thought came to a certain king that he would never fail if he knew three things. These three things were these, those. What does it mean by these and those? These and those are pronouns actually. These are. What is are? Are is a verb. Okay, primary auxiliaries. Primary auxiliaries. How many primary auxiliaries do we have in English, you know? What are those? Don't you know? What are the primary auxiliaries? Do auxiliaries, have auxiliaries. Do auxiliaries, have auxiliaries. Understand? And be auxiliary. Be, do, have. What are be auxiliaries? Be, is, is, don't say is, that is. Be, is, are, am, was, were. Be, is, am, are, were, was. Be, is, am, are, were, was. Be auxiliaries. What are do auxiliaries? Do, does, did. Do, does, did. With all three of them we can make questions. And what about the last auxiliaries? Have auxiliaries. Have, has, had. Have, has, had or have auxiliaries. Do, does, did or the do auxiliaries. Be auxiliaries. Be, is, am, are, were, was. Okay, these are all the verbs. Different types of verbs we have. We have main verbs and primary auxiliaries we have. Main auxiliaries main verbs we have. And one more, you usually say, what is that? Main auxiliary, main verbs, and the other one is helping verb. You say helping verbs. These helping verbs are none other than the primary auxiliaries and what is that? Modal auxiliaries. Okay, primary auxiliaries 3 types. Modal auxiliaries, we have 13 modal auxiliaries. Those we will discuss and we will learn clearly about them in the next class. What you have to do today, take one small little paragraph. You try on. Okay, can you distinguish all 8 parts of speech? How a sentence can start? Today I told you, a sensible sentence starts with a subject. It is consisting of verb. It can be a main verb or a primary auxiliary or a modal auxiliary, and then you can go with the subject. As I told you, subject and object are always consistent, either noun or a pronoun. The remaining part of this grammar lesson will be learned in the next class. Until we meet again, goodbye. And today's parts of speech you have to learn, practice. You also should know the definition of them. Thank you, children. Thanks for watching.